Hey everybody, so today's video is a DIY. I'm really excited about it. It's really cool and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So if you like my eyebrows, I suggest you keep watching. So what it is, I created my own dip brow. It didn't look as pretty as I wanted it to look. That's how it came out, but it does the job, as you can see. And it's just a fun project. Dip brow, I went to Walmart and I saw some of them in there for like $6, so it's really not that expensive, but it's just something fun to do if you want to pretend to be your own what's that word, it's like a not cosmetology, something chemist, like a makeup chemist, but I forgot what that's called, so the real name. So yeah, it was just a fun little project I decided to try out. I actually filmed a eyebrow tutorial before, but I had like a huge pimple, but again, you see I have another huge pimple in my eyebrow area, so it seems like every time I get ready to do an eyebrow tutorial I want to get a pimple. But I just said to heck with the pimples, we all get them. So if pimples bother you in a video, I don't suggest you watch this. But yeah, I said I'm not gonna let a pimple stop me from making a really cool video. So you're gonna need a container. This was a acrylic container, which when I say acrylic, I mean the acrylic that you use to do your nails. I would do my own nails sometimes, so I had that, but I just emptied that out and used this. But I do suggest getting one that's a little bit wider and flatter so you can easily put the product in there. And other than that, have a great day, guys.
So on the table, you can see all the products you're going to need. You're going to need eyebrow pencil. The one that's on the plate is actually an old one that I used. And there is the new one. It's just Wet n Wild in a dark brown color. And a container, some hair pomade. This is locking firm wax for dreads. And it's just regular beeswax, nothing else in it. A knife for mixing, a stick for mixing. You're also going to need a scissor. I didn't show it for some reason, and you're gonna need something to dig out the product. So you can see I already digged out the product from the old one, and I'm using a switchblade to go ahead and cut into the new one. I use a scissor to cut off the tip to make it easier for me to go ahead and take apart the pencil. As you can see, the new one is really creamy, whereas my old one is not so creamy. It's kind of dry and hard, but vice versa. The new one, as you can see, is a lot harder to carve out, whereas the old one's pencil, the wood was weaker and 10 times easier to cut out. They're both pretty easy, but this one's just a little bit more firm. So after you slice down, you're gonna go ahead and put the knife against the pencil and pull backwards. That'll break it off. It's just a small pencil, so the wood is not that hard, but you might want to use gloves for this. I didn't, just because I was really excited and I wanted to start. Plus it was an experiment, so I hadn't really done this before. But yeah, gloves might be a good option. So I'm just digging out the product from the pencil and putting it on the plate to the side. You don't even have to break the pencil all the way to the bottom to dig out most of the product, because the product doesn't even go all the way down the pencil. So I'm throwing away the extra wood so it doesn't get mixed in with our product, and I'm going to wipe off any little splinters from the plate as well. So now I'm going to go and wash out our container so we can put our product inside. So I was trying to mash up the product, and like I said, the old one was a lot harder to mash up than the new one, as you'll see. But eventually I just got it in there. So I'm taking some of the pomade, a very small amount. It depends on what type of eyebrow pencil you use. I'm not sure if there's other ones who aren't as creamy, but you can judge by the type of eyebrow pencil if you want to add some pomade to make it creamy. So I'm just using the stick to mash the product. You could use the knife as well, but I found that the stick worked a little bit better for me. But eventually I just went ahead and put it inside of the container so it could just be in there and I wouldn't lose so much product. So one of my suggestions would be to get a container that's a little bit flatter and wider, because it'll be easier to put the product in, mix it, and scrape it off the sides, so you can actually have some usable product. you can see your hands get really messy. So that's why you needed the napkin. So here I'm just scraping off the excess from the knife and putting it back into the container. Again, mashing it some more with a stick. At the time, I didn't think of it, but eventually I figured, hey, I could just put it in the microwave. Here I'm cleaning up the bottle a little bit, and that's what that looked like. And she was pretty much done. So like I said, I decided to put her in the microwave, and that's how it looked afterwards. I put it in there for like 40 seconds and stuck it in the freezer. The freezer did it really fast. It took about 2 minutes, and this is what it looked like. It still had air bubbles, so it's probably because it dried really fast. So here I am brushing out my eyebrows, and so I'm taking my dip brow that I made, and I'm using a eyeliner brush just because I forgot my angled brush, but the eyeliner brush works pretty well. So I start at the bottom and I work my way down to the tail. As y'all can see, my eyebrows aren't freshly done, but I mean, who cares? And that's why you use concealer to just cover up those parts of your eyebrows that's not done. So as you can see, I'm doing a feathery motion to mimic the eyebrow hairs, and now I'm going to the top of my eyebrow. Now I line it slightly above my actual brow line, but I don't like to make them too thick or have the product going so far away from the actual hairs. My eyebrows are pretty straight shaped. I don't have like a huge arch, so they pretty much just go straight across my face. Look good, don't it? So again, I'm taking my eyebrow brush and just filling in the hairs. Well, not filling in the hairs, but just brushing the hairs out so it kind of fills in with the product. So with my concealer, this is a concealer brush, also from Sephora. I just pretty much follow the line. It's like coloring outside the lines, and the same on the top of my eyebrow. This concealer is LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn, the same one I use all the time. So taking an eyeshadow brush, I'm just blending out the rest of the concealer. I prefer to use a brush rather than a beauty blender or whatever else you would possibly use for blending out eyebrow concealer, because I just feel like it gives me more handle and it blends it out better. But that's just my personal preference. So I went and finished the other eyebrow, and this is how it came out. So I think the dip brow was pretty nice. So obviously, if my eyebrows were cleaned up and done, it would look 10 times better. But for the sake of the video, you can see how the concealer would work for it when your eyebrows aren't completely done, and how well the dip brow, the DIY dip brow that I created, worked on undone eyebrows. If you can work on undone eyebrows, then that means it's popping. And I almost forgot to put on some highlight, so I'm using